for whether or
Yeah.
not you can spawn it type of thing. I feel like they probably did that to a lot of different things. Like in the podcast with Jung today, they mentioned a Val Orb that's similar to the Val Orb in PoE2, where you can kind of multiply the effective uniques type of thing, which I'm assuming that's like some special outcome reward based on a certain mechanic. I don't know what. That's what I'm just guessing.
Hmm. Yes. I think Expedition will be one I'll be interested in. I like Expedition for League starts, and it seems like it's very juicy because like a lot of the time what you want in the Expedition in maps is, as many skulls on sticks as you can get. And
So
there's just like so many. There's so many.
Run me through this. So like, let's say you have Expedition. What are our odds of Expedition being hit by the Mirage? Is it just if it's randomly in the zone, or is there some? Do we know anything about that?
So in the campaign, it's like force spawning things near it. But as far as I know, in endgame, it is just random.
Okay.
But like the point is that endgame, we're like adding so much stuff to our maps or whatever. Or you pick in layouts that favor it to help that along. So yeah, I'm sure sometimes you'll like, if you have Expedition because it's only one thing in your map, you will just miss it. I don't know, maybe half the time or something.
Yeah, okay.
But I think there will be ways of gaming it a bit, because there are maps like Glacier, for example, where you put certain things on the map and they're pretty much all going to be in the starting area, like that big open area at the start before you go in the cave. There's stuff that feels pretty consistent in that regard. So like more often than not, I imagine the Mirage will also be there and it will capture those things. So I imagine Glacier is going to be pretty good again.
Well, it's going to be
gone. Glacier's removed. They're accounting for it.
Glacier's removed from the pool. Never mind. Anyway,
well, there'll be other maps that generate this in a similar way to Glacier, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the point stands.
We won't be endlessly farming Glacier. I'm glad, because I hate snow maps. They're just bright white flashbang maps.
Snow maps are goated.
You can actually see.
You guys hate your eyeballs. Yeah. I guess there is a nice contrast between the monsters and the ground. So that's something, I suppose. Not a thing PoE usually has a lot of.
You know what we need? We need dark mode for PoE. It makes Glacier black.
Yeah, night mode with nice
like
orange. I mean, you can just put that on your
instead.
PC. Also less toxic sewers.
Yeah, but that goes white. Great.
All right. On the Mirage mechanic in League, there are various other rewards for it. I don't know if there's too much you guys want to say about those things. We have, for example, I guess a big one is the support gem coins that apply a support gem to your skills. And those corrupt them and compete with +1 for corruptions. Do you guys see that? It seems to me like in many cases, unless there's like a specific breakpoint or something you're shooting for, the power of your optimal few support gem options are probably better than +1. But +1 scaling can be kind of crazy on some skills.
It's pretty much always +1's better. I think.
Okay.
Like +1 is pretty universally like 10% more on spells. It's a little bit worse on weapons, which the amount of supports that are that power level at level 1 is a lot. And then there's a lot of builds that get exceptionally strong supports. Like, for example, a power charge stacker with power charge on crit. Level 1 does the same thing at level 20. It's 4% more damage per power charge. Like, there's some supports in there for a lot of builds that'll be 20, 30%, even higher support gems where their level 1 just gives you most of the power. And I think aside from like just like the damage part, I think the thing I'm more looking forward to is the alleviation of socket pressure elsewhere, where you can like fit in a few more like utility bells and whistles to things. That I am personally looking forward to quite a lot, because there's a lot of builds we play where that socket pressure gets rough fast.
I forgot about that. I was like, I only had it as a consideration for my main gem, and I'm so like starved. You just saved
socket
my
pressure,
build.
man. Socket pressure is brutal.
Oh my god, I can get I can get life tap on my immortal call. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I really liked Static Strike as the utility skill, and I totally want to run that on a full link, and there's like 8 different gems I want to put on it, so I'm very happy that I'll be able to get one of those as like a bonus there in my full link.
I'm just like, how excited am I for this? On a scale of 1 out of 10, I'm blessed.
Very nice.
Does
Yeah,
blessed translate to a 10, or is that a?
This is a
I don't know. For
good.
people who know,
This
they
is
know.
This is what I see as like my favorite kind of power creep, where it's like interesting power creep that gives you new decisions to make. My
Yeah.
favorite. Like it's far more interesting deciding, whether you want +1 or over quality or one of many different optional gems than just
Yeah.
deciding
Yep.
between quality and +1, right? Which is generally just a
the-
very obvious choice.
Oh, I guess on like support things
I
that aren't attacks, the pool is actually very limited on what you
In
can
some
hit.
cases, yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Like hitting mark on hit is very, very likely, like type of thing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, there's like 4 gems or something that work with it.
Yeah.
Like the other 3 are trash, but it's still good odds.
I will say the loser here is spells overall, because they lose the most from losing +1.
I think
It's
the
not a
loser
big
is
loss.
actually not spells, but Val skills.
Right.
Those are the ones that.
and especially
Which I'm playing a Val skill. I'm like, crap, I
combo,
can't even use this because I need a Val.
spell
I need a
Val
version.
skill. If you think about it.
Yes. Interesting. Any other thoughts on that? No, I think that was what was the other. So there's the other thing is that you can get dirty uniques that you can clean. Which just like I just can't see when they pull out this like big rusted sword and then clean it up. I just can't not see those YouTube channels that are like, here's a Glock I found in the mud or some World War One gun, and it's like obviously fake giant pile of rust and like let's clean it up. But I mean that's just gonna be like it's basically just they added 2 new uniques for every unique they added. So well yeah, something like that.
Do you think in the
So I guess
count
a bunch of uniques.
count where they said we added this amount of uniques, do you think it's counting the both versions, or do you think they're counting it as one?
You would think so. You would think so. Especially because they changed name and functionality so dramatically. Which, like, from a design perspective, this is like a cute little gimmick thing, and it's fine. I don't really think it needs to be anything more than that. But just from a design perspective, this sort of thing is like, I don't know how I feel about it, because I saw one of the examples they showed was like, let's say you got a build and you're using this weapon, it's a rusted weapon. I just imagine some player being like, oh man, this is sick. And then you find the queen for it and you're like, oh yeah, let's clean it up. And they clean it up and it's like completely different functionality that just doesn't work with their build at all.
For the character at all.
And they're like, oh no, ruined my character, man. I just imagine some like, player who didn't like pre-research that. Some mythical new Path of Exile 1 player who runs into that situation, just being like, oh no, what have I done? Yeah. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Valuable life lesson there.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and then there's like a bunch of stuff we don't know yet, like endgame mirage maps that are like full maps and stuff. I completely forgot about that. So, any other thoughts on